Hi, everyone, and welcome to the 9th episode of the Greenhouse Ensemble's quarantine soiree on Zoom. So as you can see, I have sleeves on today. That's how you know it's officially October. And a fun fact about October this year, there's going to be a blue moon on Halloween. A blue moon occurs when there are 2 full moons in the same month, which is very fun. So Blue Moon isn't just the song from Greece that my dad used to sing to me when I was little all the time because he fancied himself a Danny Zuko, but that's a story for another time. Tonight, we're going to be sharing Insurance by Scott Mullen. Now, if you've been following along the series, you may have heard the name Scott Mullen before, and that's because this is the second play of his that we're sharing. And there'll be many more to come because, as I mentioned before, Scott Mullen is the only playwright that we've produced in every single one of our 10-minute play soirees. So tonight's show is directed by Varvara Ilchenko, and it features Shay Wisniewski, Evyn Whiteley, and Ollie Corchado. If you would like to support these lovely artists that are featured tonight, you can do so in 2 easy ways. The first is to go to our website, www.greenhouseensemble.com/support-us. And there you'll be able to make a tax-deductible donation. Or if you want to make things real easy, you can just Venmo us. It's at Greenhouse Ensemble. And now tonight's show. The setting is one that if we all think real hard back, we can remember. It's an airport. I know it's been a long time that most of us have been there, but I know that we have memories. And without further ado, Insurance by Scott Mullen.
Boarding for flight 372 to Boston will be delayed 30 minutes.
Oh, come on.
Sucks, huh?
Excuse me?
Parking and crowds and security and lines, and we can't even get on the plane yet. How many flights have you had with a screaming baby? Some kid kicking the back of your seat, jerk in front of you, leans his chair back, doesn't care how comfortable you are, am I right?
People talking to you and you just want to read?
You're funny. But seriously, how much would you pay to have a great flight? And if you didn't, be compensated for your discomfort? Cash money. A baby screams cha-ching. Biker next to you falls asleep with his head on your shoulder. You get paid. Drunk guy throws up on you. Huge bucks.
That sounds great. Too bad it's not a thing.
Oh, it is a thing. I work for Catalan Insurance. We specialize in insuring things other people refuse to insure, licensed and bonded. If you had insurance with us right now, every time there's an announcement that boarding gets delayed, $10. Makes it a lot easier to tolerate, doesn't it?
You're serious?
100%.
So if I buy insurance and a baby cries, how much do I get?
It depends on how long they cry for and the decibels and how many babies there are and how close to you they are. There's a formula.
A baby formula?
Yeah, you are funny. Yes, exactly.
So let's say I'm in a deep sleep and a baby 10 feet away from me cries at 65 decibels for 10 minutes and then does it again 30 minutes later for 15.
Assuming you had our tier 1 plan.
How much does that cost?
$29.99.
That's not bad. Sure.
We'd pay you $200.
That's not much.
But you'd also be covered for a lot of other stuff, a lot. For instance, if a passenger walking by you accidentally spills hot coffee on you, $12,000.
Wow.
Provided it's validated by one of the 42 cameras on the plane, but no cheating, no paying someone to spill their coffee on you or vomit on you or stick their baby with a pin to make them cry.
That's terrible.
Also covered in tier 1, animal bites. All these emotional support animals on planes, anything could start gnawing on you. Last week, a guy got pecked by a rooster. That guy cashed in, walked away with a check for 92 G's. Tier 1. But you have to buy it here now in the terminal before you get a chance to count the babies on the plane. Come on. What's your name?
Henry.
Henry, I'm Lauren. Let's get this done. What do you say?
I'm interested.
What about decompression?
What?
Yeah, what if one of the plane windows blows out and you get sucked into the window? So your butt is blocking it, and maybe that saves the plane, which is awesome, right? But you're still getting messed up a lot. I mean, seriously, what's that got to do to your spine? And a lot of insurance doesn't cover that. Does your insurance cover that?
I don't know.
That could be a huge hospital bill, Henry. And if your insurance isn't paying, sometimes the hospital cuts corners, sews you up with their cheap thread. You don't want that. You got window decompression on that tier 1 plan?
I don't think you're part of this conversation.
Hi, my name's Rita, and I'm making myself part of this conversation because this is America and everything should be transparent. So let's get it all out in the open. I think you're a con woman. So, is window decompression covered? Oh, no. Yes, it's not covered at all. You really need decompression covered, Henry. You need to get everything covered. You need to look for the gaps. Gap coverage.
You don't have that butt in the window thing?
That's tier 5.
How much is tier 5?
$469.99.
Per flight? Ouch.
That's expensive.
It does cover the spine. In fact, tier 5 covers everything in tiers 1, 2, 3, and 4, and more.
What about peanut rabies?
That's a thing.
A rabid kangaroo licks a peanut, it winds up in a bag of peanuts. You eat it and get rabies? Bet that's not on there.
Is it on there?
Catching rabies from a bag of peanuts. Right there, tier 5. If that happens to you, you get $300,000 cash chop change.
It's still pretty expensive.
What if he catches something from the airplane toilet seat?
No.
Oh, you do not know who's been using those, Henry. We're talking Legionnaire's disease, mad cow disease. There are a lot of lady yeast things that you don't want anywhere near your manly bits and pieces.
Oh, no, I don't.
Is that on tier 5?
No,
Aha.
that's tier 6.
Tier 6? How much is that? I can't afford this. Wouldn't my health insurance cover anything I catch?
Maybe. Maybe not. It depends. When you're up in the air, if it's unclear what state you're over when you contract the disease, Kansas has some pretty weird laws. It's hard to put a price on your own physical health.
Can't you just put that on tier 5?
Hush.
Maybe charge him an extra $30 for all the toilet seat stuff.
Yes.
Fine. Anything else?
Food poisoning.
All covered.
Sexually inappropriate flight attendants.
Covered.
Old lady oversharing her cat photos.
Covered.
Sweaty nun eating a bulb of garlic.
Covered.
Someone clipping their toenails.
Covered.
Wait! What about odors?
Tier 5 will pay you for any disgusting odors.
What if the person that used the bathroom before you ate asparagus and you smell that weird asparagus pea smell?
Tier 5 pays.
What if you're sitting in the
Tier
middle and you got...
5 pays.
I still think it's a scam.
It's all covered. Peace of mind so you can relax.
What if I'm sitting on the plane and seated near me is Jessica Montgomery, who I had a crush on all through high school. I work up my courage, walk over to her. She's still so adorable. And I confess to her that I always had feelings for her. And I ask if she maybe wants to grab a drink when the plane lands. And she looks up at me and laughs in my face. I'm upset. I go back to my seat. I can't concentrate because and even though I'm supposed to be working on the project that I have to do tomorrow, I can't concentrate. I blow the project. I lose my job. I'm out on the street. I can't pay rent. What then?
Tier 5 pays.
That's amazing.
It actually is.
Assuming that you swear you have not seen Jessica Montgomery in the terminal today or had any foreknowledge that she'll be on this flight.
I swear.
If that happens to you, $5 million.
Wow.
That's even better than Jessica saying yes.
You're too good for her anyway.
Hey, you maybe like to grab a drink or...
Sorry. Gay.
How much you say tier 5 was?
With the extra $30, $499.99.
Do you think I should?
I mean, it sounds like it covers everything. If it isn't a scam.
You take credit cards?
Cash only.
I only have a couple $100.
Oh, there's an ATM right over there.
I'll be right back.
I should make you give me $100.
Why?
I just totally helped you rip that guy off.
This isn't a con. This is real.
You're gonna pay him for all those things.
If they happen, sure.
$5 million for Jessica Montgomery rejecting him? How can you afford that?
Volume.
You're serious.
You wouldn't believe the things we cover. It's not just planes. For $100, we sell a Don Juan policy. Every time a woman rejects you, you get $1. It encourages men to be brave and not be shy, and most never get to 100 before someone says yes, so that's a big moneymaker. But people like to be covered. What scares you?
Nothing scares me.
Oh, I saw you earlier, walking through the terminal. There were a couple of kids walking the other way. You gave them a wide berth.
They looked sticky.
Let me guess. You're sitting on a plane. You're afraid to go to sleep because you're worried you might wake up and find some kid rubbing his snotty fingers on your arm.
Stop.
Tier 5 covers that. If some brat with Cheeto dust on his face even touches you, you get paid 5 figures. Yeah, you're feeling better already.
Tier 5?
It's good value.
I get everything you gave him.
You can substitute someone for Jessica Montgomery.
If I see Natalie Portman in first class, I throw myself on her and she tases me?
$500,000. If you swear you had no knowledge she'll be on this flight. You in?
I need to hit the ATM.
Take your time. I'm not going anywhere. Everyone needs some insurance.
Wonderful, wonderful work, everybody. Thank you so much. How much is true in that? Seriously, about insurance, right? Varvara, come join us. Where are you? There you are. So listening to this, it makes me think insurance really is about like what scares us. You know, we do want to insure ourselves against things that might be scary. So I'm curious to ask all of you lovely artists, Have you discovered anything new about yourself as far as your fears go during the quarantine? Like maybe there's something new that you're afraid of, or something you thought you were afraid of that you're not afraid of anymore, either rational or irrational. What do you guys think?
I mean, I have absolutely zero shame about asking somebody to like give me space, like especially if I'm at a grocery store and somebody's just like breathing down my neck. And I just turn around and I say, like, do you mind just giving me like some air? Because like there's no reason for us to like all collectively like crowd each other. And also just like touching surfaces. I wash my hands like 1,000 times a day, which I already thought I wash my hands a lot, but like now I've just sort of turned into a major germaphobe.
So germs, your new fear is germs. Anyone else? How about the rest of you?
I used to think I could really handle cockroaches and mice in my apartment. Like I was pretty good. I would kill them with my fingers, not mice, cockroaches. But since getting back to the city after a break, we have a real mice problem. And I have discovered I'm really scared of rodents. So that's my new discovery.
I'm sorry you had to discover that, but my God.
That's okay, we're dealing with it.
Cockroaches with your fingers, Evyn.
Oh yeah.
Damn, girl.
Really, you're my hero now.
Yeah, you can come over anytime.
Like imagine like seeing one and just like.
Yeah, that's what I do.
That's amazing.
I guess for me, I've always been very good at being alone, and I love my solitude. I'm a big introvert, so like I'm good with my roommate not being around, just having me time. But during this quarantine, she was gone for almost 2 months, and without having work to go to, not being able to see friends, I really found myself like not necessarily fear of being alone or loneliness. It was just like, it was very stifling, and it made me feel, I don't know, I guess it did make me fear being alone, finally.
Like bored with being alone at some point,
Yeah.
Same, like I can be alone for a very long amount of time, and I like generally enjoy my own company, but sometimes I would just like find myself like, I think I may have just spent the last 2.5 hours staring at a wall. Like, I don't know what else I've been doing, but I'm pretty sure it's just been me and this wall.
Read. You guys should read. You're never alone when you have a good book.
Sure.
My nerd.
I guess I just noticed I never really like thought about touching stuff, right? And like how easy, like this past year has like, you take for granted going onto the subway and just like being so close to everybody. And now I am just so much more aware, right? I feel like that has just like made me more aware, but also just like a little bit, I guess that there's like a fear to that too. Just like, I think I remember hanging out with people once, and then like the next day I was just like, man, I hung out with like 7 people. Should I have done that? Like I just woke up with just like an added thing to it, and it's just weird. It's
Yeah, I totally feel that. I mean, I have this irrational fear of phone calls. So it's kind of a fear of people, but now I have this fear. I know, and a lot of people can relate to that one, especially in our generation, millennials. But now I have this weird fear of like being around people, and I feel like people get offended by it, but it's really not personal. It has nothing to do with like who that actual person is, right? It's just a matter of like another human. Germs. I guess it all really comes down to germs, like Varvara, you were saying.
It's germs, but on the flip side of that, like I think the thing that I really just miss a lot is I really miss hugging people. Especially like when we're all forced to be away from each other for so long. Like Evyn and we used to work together, and we saw each other for the first time in like 4 or 5 months without planning, like at our old job. And like, I wanted so badly to just immediately do this. And we were both like, like this. And it sucked so much because I feel like what a lot of us probably really need after this entire stupid year is just a really, really good hug. And we just like don't have that luxury anymore. And like, how much do we take that for granted? So if the whole germ thing ever does go away, I'll be very excited to just like go on a marathon of hugging people, invading their personal space.
Everybody's gonna hug everybody. It's gonna be like the day after.
It's gonna be a hug circle.
The day after, like everybody gets vaccinated.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it'll just like Times Square will just be people hugging each other. 50 years from now, it'll be some black and white photo of two people hugging each other. It'll be great.
Yeah.
You'll have the free hug sign, Varvara. You'll be a huge square with the free hug sign.
We'll absolutely be one of those people.
Well, cool. Thank you guys for your work, and thank you guys for tuning in. I'd like to do a shout out to the theater arts class at Robert G. Cole High School. They joined us in our audience today. So special shout out to young actors. We were all just like you before, so keep going. It's an amazing, amazing journey to embark on. So I wish you the best of luck with that, and thank you for joining us.
Their teacher was my college roommate.
Oh, well, look at that.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, thank you for inviting him and him bringing his students. It's wonderful. We've got a lot of applause and a lot of people who said cockroaches. Does tier 5 cover that? Tara Diana is wondering, which I really love that. Edward Armelino, that's my brother, he said, insurance is such a scam, but the acting was great. Thanks, Eddie. So I thought that was lots of applause. Lots of people loved it. Lots of great work. So thank you guys for being part of it. And to our wonderful audience, tune in next week for our 10th episode of the Quarantine Soiree on Zoom, where we'll be sharing Blue Album, which was written by Scott Mullen. Told you you'd be seeing more of him. So we'll see you guys next week. Have a wonderful night.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.